Oh, twinsies! Hey guys, welcome back to Streamline Builds. Today we're going to focus on this here beauty that doesn't get much attention. It's my Marina Blue 67 Camaro SSRS. Sporting a 383 Blueprint Performance stroker motor, Muncie M21 4-speed, and a little newer 8.5 inch 10 bolt rear end with a fresh Detroit True Track posi in there and 373 gears. This car was fully rebuilt by me about 2 years ago, just under 2 years ago, and unfortunately I didn't really record or document much of that process. There's a few pictures of body work and paint work and stuff like that, but basically I bought this thing as a primer rolling chassis and basically no wiring in it, stripped out junk, and rebuilt it all. But there's a couple little things left over, and I'll grab them right now and we'll kind of go over those, what we're going to do today, and kind of maybe what my plans are for it in the future. As you can see, it looks pretty stock and original other than the wheels, of course, and those are still vintage style, just 17 inch. They weren't exactly what I was looking for. Wanted a little deeper offset in the back, of course, because well, who doesn't want deep dish rims? I mean, I know I do. But there were no true honest pictures of these online and couldn't really see what I was getting, I guess. And the offsets were different front to rear, so I assumed the rear ones would have a much deeper lift than the front, but they don't. So that's kind of one thing I don't like. And other thing is the height. When I put my disc brake kit on the front, it came with 2-inch drop spindles, and since the back was so high and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, I ended up putting a stock spindle back on and giving a buddy of mine the drop spindles, and because his car was already low in the rear. And I thought about putting blocks in the back or changing the springs, or possibly what I did with my 1JZ powered Plymouth is I swapped the leaf springs for a 4-link with coilovers. That only took about a day to install, not even, half a day. So that's something that could easily be done on this car, because the Plymouth was totally custom. This car, I can just buy a kit off eBay for like $600 and piece of cake. The front, all kinds of things we could do there. I just love how drivable this car is, though. Other than on the highway, it's way too low geared, but nothing rubs or bangs around, stuff like that. And I'd probably have to add a bunch of camber in the front to keep the fenders clear from rubbing on the tires. And or obviously if I do slam this thing, I would want to get some different wheels and tires on it. And this was originally a black vinyl top car, black interior. As you see, there's no vinyl top anymore. I would like to honestly add the black vinyl top back on. I think it would really class the joint up a bit and tie it all together. It looks good. The only reason why I didn't want to do it is just time and effort, I guess. And putting these original trim on right here on the 67, 68 Camaros, this actually clips on top of and captures the vinyl roof on this drip edge. So this was so hard to get on without pinching a piece of vinyl in there. I can only imagine that's a lot harder. And then you just need a couple clips around the back edge as the vinyl top follows this line around. So that's something I'd like to do in the future. Also, the motor. Great engine. I'm not one for 454s, 400s, any of those externally balanced engines that GM made. Don't even know why they did that. Maybe you're a genius engineer that worked for them. there's some kind of explanation. I think it's idiotic. Those engines obviously have proved themselves to be less reliable than an internally balanced motor. And that's just one thing I've got. And these stroker motors are notorious for getting rod knocks, overheating, things like that. So I may want to swap that out and do something also to make this more drivable on the highway. Do like an LS of some kind. I don't even know, maybe just a simple LQ9 6-liter from a truck in a 5 or 6 speed. Everything I've heard, 6 speeds don't fit in the tranny tunnel, so 5 speed might be better. And I've put T5s in old trucks and cars, and they fit great. They're small, they aren't, you know, that strong, but they're decent, and the price is usually not too bad either. So these are all things we might do in the future, but today what we're going to pay attention to is our missing chrome here on the wheel wells. Get back here. These are like Mexican jumping beans. All right, y'all, what you think about that? Well, here's a good look at her. You know, it's pretty clean. And like I said, pretty much went up and down and over every inch of this car, had it completely apart, and she's a beauty, but they're never finished. And sometimes you think something's gonna be just the way you want it, you get it done, and then you decide maybe you want something else. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I like the way it sounds, the way it feels, everything. It's great, but you know, maybe it could be better. I don't know. But you know, this here's the pride of America, and I'm gonna treat it as such. Now this here, this is my new toy. I like it. But this here is the pride of China. And these here, these are the pride of Taiwan, I believe. Yes, sir. Taiwanese. Love it. Let's see how we do. Oh, what's sharper? This or Taiwan plastic? We kind of got her. Ah! Oh well, we already got some out here anyways. For your viewing pleasure, here's our trims. And they go on just like something like that. And the fenders already have some little holes here, so I did get some self-tappers to pre-drill if things don't quite line up for our stainless screws to go in. We got our trusty Ryobi, so let's just see how she fits. Alrighty then, let's see how she goes. Oh man. Well, we're missing a couple holes for some reason. Like there's one right here, but our hole is way down here. The rest of them all seem to line up, and our fender extension, it doesn't have any holes either. So, here, hold that. God, you had one job to do. Hold on to that thing. Well, let's see what happens here. You are terrible at your job. I think I'm gonna wipe this down first. Okay, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial from our latest sponsor. And let's see what we can do here. Try to get one of these going. Ow! I hate when it seems like you need 3 hands sometimes. Come on. Oh. Okay, nice and loose. No need to get crazy yet. Wait till we get everything in and then we'll cinch them down. Hey, so far it's fitting phenomenally, I must say. Okay. Normally I like to take a little primer or grease and put it on a screw like this before I put it in the body, just to help prevent rust, oxidation, trouble down the road. Okay, that one went in smooth as silk. Let's keep moving. Might need to do some final adjustments or pull back once everything's set. See if it's where we want it. I don't even know if these screws are big enough. They seem a little weak sauce in the holes, you know? They're not too... Oh, no! Soldier down. They aren't, you know, fitting that tight. Not as tight as I would like. That's what you get from Taiwan every time. Don't be fooled. Don't let them tell you any different. The thing that freaks me about using this when I'm doing this is like that it's gonna pop and impact and then shoot off the screw and hit the paint. That's what's making me sweat here. A little stressful. Okay, there is a hole down at the very bottom there, so we can secure that one. Looks like originally this had another hole here though. Taiwan didn't feel we needed that one, so they took it out. It's kind of, see if I can show you here. It's kind of a sharp edge here. And it's kind of digging into the fender a little. I'm gonna try and bend that out just a hair so it doesn't dig into the paint, but otherwise this line here is fitting up pretty much perfect. Looking good, just like the rest of this chrome. So we'll just bend that a little and then we'll sink that screw. Drilling holes in a beautifully painted machine. Scares me every time. I did this exact same thing on my '69 Camaro. Turned out pretty good. It was a little more difficult though because these actually go through the bolts in the front fender, from the fender to the fender well, wheel well, inner fender, whatever. And all that crap from Taiwan and stuff. My fenders were original GM, but the inner fenders were AMD. Way off. I mean, so far off. And so then adding this with another set of holes, none of it lined up. It was horrendous. Hated it. So the '67, I like it a lot more. This one here fit really nice. Time to throw the meats back on and head over to the other side. Don't try and steal my wheels either, okay? I'm locked and loaded. Safety first, that's what you always learn. Send it. Well, what do y'all think? I think she's looking pretty good. Just add a little more chrome to the tone, and it's not that noticeable, you know, but it's supposed to be there, so I like it. Oh, yeah. There she is. If you haven't seen it before, that's what a small block Chevy looks like. Let's start her up. Well, as you can see here, the old battery was dead. I even took a screwdriver, arced it on the starter, and it just, because the fan came on strong, but the starter wouldn't crank over. I arced it, and it just kind of clicked a couple times, so. Oh, we'll play the waiting game. And while I got your attention, let me know what you think about the Camaro in general, and what do you think I should do with it next? I would really like to build this into a more modern pro touring type of car, and you know, like I said, I do like it the way it is. I enjoy it, but sometimes you just, you know, we need some exciting new projects in our lives, and gone back and forth with supercharging the Corvette, which I'm sure that will come in the near future as well. But this car too, I mean, such a sick car. It almost makes me sick not just continuing on with this project, making it, you know, you could look at it and say it's not really a project, but to me it is a project in my mind, because I just go to bed thinking about it, and I go out to dinner and I'm thinking about it. I go to work and I'm thinking about it. What should I do? What should I do? And you know, I see these other Camaros with some stanced out rims on it, looking low and slow, and I just kind of think that I might want to do the same, you know?